I hope you joined us last week where I shared with you 5 powerful ways that you can create a core recognition tribe to gain momentum in your recognition movement. Because that's what we're talking about today, is then how to take that core group of people and somehow morph it to a few to many. These are some of my best ideas as Canada's leading recognition expert in how to create a recognition movement in your organization. And it is a worthy pursuit, my friends. As we are in the midst of this talent shortage, people are choosing to stay rather than go, not necessarily because of money, because they like the people they work with. In fact, anyone who's ever done any of the research and studying the Gallup phenomenon and what drives people to stay, one of the drivers is, I have a best friend at work. That generally doesn't happen if people don't feel valued and appreciated. And let's face it, there are many people in the workplace today that don't feel valued and appreciated and feel a sense of competition with their colleagues as opposed to a collegial spirit. So not only are there strong business and personal drivers to fuel recognition, there's also great opportunity. Because you see, you can create the workplace that you never perhaps would have had the time and energy to create had it not been for this talent shortage. And had people not been saying, perhaps of other generations, listen, the only way I'm going to stay is if I'm doing meaningful work that is valued. This is not an anti-generational, my generation against you thing. This is a common uniting factor of humanity that everybody needs to feel valued, appreciated, and heard. And recognition is one of your easiest ways to do that. How do we make sure more people feel it and on a daily basis? And finally, how do you catch those people in the middle who could be pretty potentially apathetic in the workplace? These aren't the negative complainers. These may not be your cheerleaders. It's that majority of people in the middle who could be swayed to the negative or swayed to the positive because, frankly, what they want to do is come to work, do a good job, and then go home and leave. And so the stronger and healthier your culture is, the less likely you're going to feel a threat to their personal life and their work-life separation, the more likely you're going to keep them because it allows them to do a good job, to feel good at the end of the day, and then go home and not be depleted emotionally and physically to the things that are also important to them outside of work. So what do we do? What are the steps to create a recognition movement? Well, of course, the very first step, if you didn't watch that video and if you don't have it in place, is to get your recognition tribe in place. Who are those people that are going to make sure they're going to shepherd recognition through the storm and keep it on the radar front and center in our incredibly busy, exhausting, often not always strategically refined operational day-to-day work? Number 2, gamify recognition. Create challenges such as a compliment. Give somebody a compliment today and do that for a month. Gamify perhaps how many things can you notice in another team and acknowledge. Challenge people between departments to go and to do something that has social good like they do at Walker Industries, where once a year they have these healthy challenges about how many acts of service can they do inside and outside the organization. And then they tie it in with their end of year event where they celebrate all of those acts of service, but it's all in the spirit of healthy competition. Gamify recognition so that it becomes fun and people don't feel like it's yet another thing to do. The next step is celebrate the small wins and frankly do the things that create small wins. Those thank yous, create some kudos cards and give them out and have people acknowledge each other. I sell compliment cards. Sometimes organizations use that to get some really quick recognition going because it's already printed and all you have to do is put a compliment card in your pocket and go and look for somebody in your workplace that exemplifies that acknowledgement. Take a picture of it and send it to your virtual team member. Put it in a card and send it to your client that demonstrated it, or physically hand it to a colleague. Find the ways to have small wins on recognition right away. The fourth step is to look at how it fits into other business drivers. What objectives do you have for the year that you are already committed to and working on? That recognition and people feeling valued and appreciated, doing more strategic celebrations of successes, how can that make you more successful in the other corporate initiatives that you have decided are essential for the year? And then finally, link it to business drivers. What are the things that you're trying to address, like perhaps sick leave or stress time, turnover, perhaps other things like client satisfaction and other organization of choice indicators. Link it to what you most value, because you measure what matters. And when you see how recognition can help fuel those things that matter, start measuring some of the things that you're trying when it comes to recognition, and then link them to, has this particular strategy that we rolled out impacted these monthly or quarterly numbers? When you begin to see the link in your business drivers, it's so much easier to make sure you reinforce and keep the momentum going. So this is not just a strategic focus one year, it becomes part of how we do things around here. I have a lot of clients who get really disheartened when I tell them it takes 7 to 10 years to create culture change. It doesn't take that long to create micro culture shifts in the right direction. Recognition can be a movement. A movement means that you are simply moving forward and you're gathering people with you as you embark upon that movement, and you nurture and you grow that movement. My friends, you don't have to focus on the end destination. We are just trying to have success and move in the right way every single day. If you would like to talk about how your organization can gain momentum even faster when it comes to recognition, why don't you reach out to me personally? Sarah with an H at greatnessmagnify.com. I have some great ideas. I'd love to help you.